Hey, audience.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to EBoNY On Air Salon Talk. We have a couple of things that we want to talk about this month. First, I'm going to start with Karen. Karen, you had a very special month. Tell us about it.
Oh, wow. Well, the only special thing I could think of is my birthday. It's my birthday month.
Birthday,
And
Miss K.
another year around the sun. I'm happy to be here. I'm thankful for my Eternal Beauty team, my family, friends, and all of the above. So, moving right along.
Also, I would like to, we have a little technical problem.
Yeah, that's fine. It's,
All right.
it's over.
All right, great, thank you.
That's Alana.
Mm-hmm.
Alana is our tech/marketing young lady.
I'm a millennial. That's
She does a lot of things and she knows everything about computers. Okay.
What's been going on with you this month, Alana?
nothing. Just been growing, glowing, just getting better with time. That's about it. I'm starting a lock client soon, so I'm really excited for him to come in and start his journey. So, yeah, just grow hair, grow.
All
right.
That's it.
Janet, what's been going on with you this month?
Nothing. I'm good.
Good.
Nothing special.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing special.
Well, for me, I would like to wish my son Jordan happy birthday today.
Happy
birthday.
He's a father of twins and not quite a year old, and they're toddling around. And as I told him, life as he knows it has now changed because now he has a set of twins, one going one way, one going the other way. So good luck to him.
All right.
And yesterday was my mom's birthday. I think she would have been 97 if she was still alive.
Aw.
Best mom in the whole world. I love her, I love her, I love her. Because of her, I am who I am today. I miss my mom a lot. And I would like to say happy Veterans Day to everyone that we haven't seen and we will see soon. You know, we should have a Veterans Day event.
We sure should. We've had one in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, more than one in the past.
Yeah, because the vets have done a lot for us. They've done a lot for us, male and female. And a lot of them are still ailing and hurting and still dealing with issues that they have with being in any kind of war or combat. We should do something for them. We really should. We really should.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Okay, now let's talk about our concept. Our concept today. Our concept today is going to be good hair. Good hair is a very touchy subject for everyone. I'm going to start with Alana.
Okay.
How has good hair been used when you were growing up?
So good hair to me growing up was really more so about the texture, than anything. And I think growing up, when you heard that you had good hair, it just kind of felt like you were above the rest. You felt prettier, you felt more accepted. So growing up, I was not considered to have good hair. I had tough, rough hair, so I always wanted to have good hair. And I actually have a funny story. When I was younger, my god sister, she's Jamaican, but she's of Indian descent, so her hair was considered good hair. And I used to take like little strands and put it in my head, and I used to pray like, please let me have good hair. So from a young age, I knew that something was wrong with my hair. I didn't have quote unquote good hair. So
Karen, what about you when you were growing up?
Growing up, I never really had any problem with my hair per se until I was about 8 or 9. I remember being on the bus, the city bus, right on the Grand Concourse with my mom. And I used to have a lot of friends that were Hispanic. So I remember looking on the bus, looking at a young lady, a little girl my age group. She had a long, silky ponytail, and it was her hair. And I was staring at her for a long time, and I'm like, Mom, I think I want hair like hers. But my mother is very Caribbean, from Antigua, and she's like, your hair is fine. And I'm like, no, I want hair like her. Can you make my hair like hers? And I didn't understand. And she kept saying, no, no. And for weeks, every time I saw somebody with this happy, fluffy, long, silky hair, I'm like, I want my hair like hers. After a while, my mother just started ignoring me. But she never really explained to me that my hair is good hair and I need to appreciate it. So I think that parents should really tell their black little daughters your hair is beautiful. You know, I learned it as I grew to love to do hair and got more into the industry. But at about 8 or 9, I really wanted this ponytail that I couldn't seem to get and didn't understand why I couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm. Janet, how was good hair used when you were a kid?
I don't know. My parents are Jamaican, so my mother has very soft hair of Indian hair. So I don't know if she had good hair. She never said to us. It wasn't a factor for us, like in my household. Ever did she say, "Oh, this one have good hair, that one have bad hair." I have hair somewhat like hers. My sister doesn't, but I don't remember her ever saying to me or pointing it out. So that didn't play a part in it. So I didn't become aware of it until I became an adult.
Well, good hair when I was growing up meant that you had straight hair or curly hair. Naturally straight, naturally curly. So, of course, growing up in the community that I was growing up in, no one had that kind of hair except a few of the Hispanics that were there. And there were some white people in my neighborhood. So your desire was to have that good, straight, naturally curly hair, which is why we reverted to the straightening comb so often to get that good hair look. All right, now let's start with Janet this time. What is bad hair?
Well, allegedly, what they say, and this is just people in general, they start to think that if your hair is more harder, not as silky or soft, you allegedly have bad hair. In my opinion.
Okay, Karen.
Well, in my opinion, there is no bad hair. All hair is good hair. It's different hair, right? It's not bad. It's just different. So if your hair is extremely curly or extremely coily or extremely tough, like Alana said, she considered her hair tough and rough, but it was still good hair. I don't feel that there is a definition to bad hair. It doesn't exist in my world.
Mm-hmm. Alana, what about you?
For me, I feel like there's a definition of bad hair. I feel like bad hair is hair that's not taken care of properly. That's the only thing for me. If it's not cared for, if there's not enough moisture, I consider that's bad hair. But I also do want to go back to the first question. I know you guys remember like the popular girls at school where they would have like the long curly hair or they would get their silk press. And they used to be like, yeah, I got Indian in me. Like that was the thing to say, like, oh yeah, I got a little Cherokee in me. That's why I got that good hair.
Yeah, okay.
So that was the thing too.
You just got a good flat iron.
I think that came in more to that would fit in Alana's generation because to me, all that change coming to the movement, you understand, the natural movement. You actually
Angela Davis.
got to see people's hair. Cause before that, we were more covering our hair with braids or weaves or whatever. We covered our hair, so there was no need for all of that. Even in high school, in our high school, a lot of people wore silk press, if I remember. You know.
Okay,
Silk press.
let's make sure we understand the difference. There's a press and curl, which is what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and a silk press, which is what the younger generation tend to use. They do not use a straightening comb with that usually. It's usually done with a flat iron, and all the manipulation is done with the blow dryer and the flat iron. Whereas in my generation and Janet's generation, we used the straightening comb, which was considered press and curl.
So you feel that it's two separate things?
They're two separate things, and if you ask someone like Alana will tell you.
I do think that between the press and curl, there's just like different techniques. You know, different things that everyone uses. Some people prefer a flat iron, and some people would not touch a hot comb. So I think that's the difference. And we don't really use like heavy grease like you would use with a press and curl. So.
Now, when I was growing up, I was considered to have bad hair. My mother had bad hair. My brothers had bad hair. My father's hair was a little bit softer, but it wasn't good hair. My hair was considered bad. Why? Because it was short. It didn't grow long and flowing. I had to get my hair braided once a week, twice a week, just to keep it contained. And my hair was not considered good hair. I grew up with a complex because of that. When I turned, I think 8 years old, I got my first perm because I did not have good hair. And because it took so long for my mother to manipulate my hair, for it to grow or for it to just stay in a style. It took 3 people to wash my hair. My two brothers had to hold me down, and my mother had to wash. She got a perm put in her hair, and then she put one in my hair. A year later, I had no hair.
You was bald?
My hair was literally about a half an inch long.
Oh no.
About a half an inch long.
Would you say that that might have been due to not getting your touch up on time since you had the relaxer?
Well, hindsight is 20/20. That's what they always say. I would say yes because I didn't go every 2 weeks to get my hair washed
Deep
and
condition,
conditioned. I didn't get it
and your touch up on time.
No.
Oh,
I
okay,
didn't do
then that will happen.
I
Also,
didn't do that.
let's also be fair to say when your mother did, and no shade to nobody's mother, when your mom did a
Relax.
at home kit, there's a lot of things that goes into that.
No, she didn't do at home kit.
You went to the hair
I
salon?
went to the hair salon.
Shame on the hair salon
They
that
should've
didn't
told
wash
you
her hair out
what you
properly
need
or
to
what
do.
have you.
I went to the hair salon. Absolutely. My mother went to the hair salon. I went to the hair salon. My mother's hair was longer and coarser than mine, but we both had what we call bad hair. We had kinky hair. We had very coarse hair. So we had bad hair.
Can I jump in on that?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. This whole bad hair word, bad hair, is killing me. Like, there is no bad hair. If it's extra coily or extra curly, it's maybe harder to comb. But it's the natural born hair that God gave you growing out of your body through your scalp into the world. It can be bad. So we're giving, right now I feel like we're giving life to the concept that people want black people to think that they have bad hair, that we have the need, like we have a diverse textures. We could do anything we want. All nationalities don't have that option that we do.
Right.
So it's not, it can't be bad. God gave it to you.
It can't be bad, but understand something. We didn't come into the concept that African American hair was good hair into the late 70s when they realized, oh, we can do whatever we want to our hair and we'll still keep it on. We'll still keep it on.
I don't agree.
I'm
I
not
don't
feeding into
agree.
the bad
I'm
hair
not
word.
feeding into that because that wasn't my life.
That wasn't
Period.
your life. It was
But
definitely
no,
my life.
I have a feeling that it has a lot to do with the individual person. If you choose to say, well, I had bad hair, I couldn't comb my hair, it's best to say, why? Because we're trained professional now, you did not understand how to
You were
manipulate your hair.
tender-headed. And
That's
maybe
it.
nobody told you, this is not bad hair. Like if you're gonna say, I hate your hair so bad, it's take too much time and work, I hate this hair, so much work.
Manipulation.
Everybody's putting in that little girl's head that you have bad hair. When in actuality, they should be saying, girl, your hair is hard, but we're gonna get through it. It's so beautiful. Look at this beautiful curl texture and thickness you have. Like whatever is good about it, we should be instilling that in our little girls' minds.
We didn't know that then.
And we still don't know that now. I'm not gonna no shade, but a lot of women still do that with their children's hair. They still say, no, her hair too bad, her hair too rough. I can't. She got that nappy head. They do say it
It's not
still.
good.
So it's not like there's a lot of us who have grown to love our hair, but there's a lot of us who are still trying to accept our hair, and a lot of they hate their children for having
Key
that
words
hair.
that you just said. We as individuals have to accept what we come and what we have.
But we can't.
And
all
love it.
through
And love it.
society,
Mm-hmm.
through everything. If it's short, we want long. If it's long, we want short. Notice the person with long hair. Oh no, just go ahead and cut it. They don't care nothing about their hair. But if it's short,
Mm-hmm.
we want it to be long. So we always, is that just within our culture? We always, our eyes are big. We want what we don't have. Always.
And I also feel like through media, there's always been a lot of there's a lot of brainwashing that people don't really realize. So when they show a woman with, let's say, I hate to do the whole texture thing, but like kinkier hair, 4C hair, it would always be someone who's going through a rough time, or they're really mean, or they're
Stressed
bullied.
out, they're
Yeah,
homeless,
so
they
like you
hungry.
you associate like, oh, she got bad hair. She's like, she's just a terrible person all around. You're
Mhm.
looking at that person like, oh my gosh, she's so ugly.
Mm.
Even me growing up, like I would always see someone with like short afro, like, that's ugly. But it's really, that's my hair. But how can I even feel that way? It's because of what I'm watching, what I'm listening to. So it's really I hate the term bad hair, but not everyone can't be saying the same thing. Like it's coming from somewhere, so that's just how
It's
I
coming
feel.
from how we don't raise our kids from from birth. Don't say bad hair. That's like walking around and your kid is very active or overactive and you're saying, you so bad, or you so stupid, or you so this.
Mhm.
That's the same thing with our hair. As little kids, no one should tell us. My mother never told me I had bad hair. So I didn't know I had good or bad hair. I just knew that when I saw that little silky ponytail, I wanted it. But no one, I never knew to today. I
Is
never
it
thought
that-
of having bad hair.
Is it possible that you wanted the ponytail only because it was in a ponytail and it was long?
Because I had a long ponytail, but it wasn't silky.
Oh, so the silkiness is what you
I
like.
wanted this. I had a long.
And
So
why
do
do you
you
want
like
the
that?
silky?
Yeah,
It's
why
because
do
you
you
see
want
it
it?
on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Like-
but that again,
Conceptualized.
Yeah.
As
is it
beautiful.
to say that our
Yeah.
eyes are too big?
No,
No.
but I think it's like it's Cinderella, it's Belle
Snow
and the Beast.
White,
It's all
yeah.
of those people. They always have silky hair. They always get the Prince Charming. Up until like recently with Tiana and the Frog, or
Mhm.
Princess and the Frog, I've never seen a princess with kinky curly hair
That's right.
ever.
They should have gave her some really.
And they
kinky,
didn't even do that.
coily
They gave her
afro
curly
hair.
hair. Yeah, so even still,
Yeah.
like
It could be considered coily.
And tell the world she's so beautiful. If we keep show the princess with the
Mhm.
coily afro and say how beautiful is she. Put her on the poster boards. Put her on the FDR highway and the big. Look at beauty. You know what I mean? Like we have to start with the kids.
Well, isn't the new Little Mermaid supposed to have locks?
Yeah.
yes.
That's,
So
that's
we're-
a good thing.
We're moving on. We're
Get a little
moving
closer.
on.
Get a little closer.
If each person, we don't take responsibility, we, as people, need to take responsibility. You have a kid, don't tell her that ever, because you know it bothered you, so you change it. You're going to change the generation. You're going to tell your kid, listen, you're beautiful. I'm going to say, I don't fall under that category. Because I tell my son every day, he's the breath I take. And people know this about
Lord,
me.
here we go.
So
with
my
the
breath.
son is the most. I just feel like he's everything to me. So
And he is.
if I can relay that to him,
Mhm.
he'll feel better about himself. I am always the prize at any size, that however I look or whatever, I am always the prize.
But
That's
that's because
confident.
You
you're
have to
self-aware. A lot
Yeah.
of people aren't self-aware. So
You
how
have
can
to
you
take
teach your child
responsibility.
if you don't even know for yourself that
No,
what
I
I
always knew
what I
that.
went through?
I'm very cute.
It has to start
That's
with
you
you.
though.
It has to start with you. You have
Yeah.
to eliminate the thoughts that if your parents told you you sold this and you sold that, and your hair sold this and your hair sold nappy, it starts with you. You have to eliminate that thought process. Like as soon as someone has mental illness or anything severe, they say, well, was she growing up in a dysfunctional home? Did they beat her as a kid? Like that always goes back to what were you taught as a kid
Right.
as the result of your behavior as an adult. So what we have to do, if that was the case, we have to eliminate those thoughts and start with
Mhm.
you. I'm gonna start a new
Start with
chain of
yourself.
my generation
Yes.
because
Take
I never
responsibility.
told my daughter she had bad hair. She really doesn't have bad hair. She has very soft
Beautiful
hair
hair.
and it's very curly and it's never been kinky. But had it been kinky, I would have never put that on her. Like it's so stressful to do your hair, you know. I wouldn't have put that on her.
I have a feeling the mothers to be on the mother's side a little bit just for a second, and it's just frustration. Out of frustration, it takes a long time to comb it out, but also to say we didn't have the products or we didn't understand how to use the products.
I
Because
agree.
I think we was talking to someone last night, myself and Miss Portia, and we're thinking back. Do you remember that it was Ultra Sheen? I tried my best to remember. Ultra Sheen had a cream shampoo back then that it took everything off your hair. It best thing.
Straighten
Shout
it
out.
out.
No, it actually when it washed your
Clarify
hair,
it.
yeah, like a clarifying, but it was cream form.
Okay.
You don't even
So
see
it's
that
moisture.
anymore.
Yeah.
So the moisture was there, and
Right.
then there was balsam. But if
Well,
you didn't,
balsam.
well, I don't know if y'all remember that,
I remember
Well,
that. You remember
if
that?
you didn't
That's
have the
before I was
right-
old.
but
Real
if you
old.
Never
didn't
heard
have
of
the right products to use to get through the hair quickly, you're gonna be frustrated.
Right.
Trying to imagine someone with a whole bunch of hair.
Mhm.
You gotta comb it out. We're hairstylists. We're all hairstylists here, and we've all had a customer that comes in and you're like, okay, wow.
You get nervous.
Like, where should I start?
When you wash it, you're afraid because you're like, ooh,
Like, Lord Jesus,
Yeah.
help us.
Yeah,
what you gonna do?
definitely.
You know, so it's just, I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
Mhm.
You know, coming forward I mean, we learn more and we get better every time, every day, every time. So.
So now my next question, because Alana brought it up with the 4C here and the 3B here and all that. My next question is to Karen. Everyone's going to get a chance to answer it. How has the natural hair chart perpetuated the good hair syndrome?
Okay, that's a great question. Well, the natural hair chart perpetuated because they feel like if the numbers are low, then you're in good standing. But the higher the numbers get, or the farther in the letters get, like if you're A and B, you're in good standing. But if you hit C, you got an issue. So I mean, it's the way we perceive it. It's an individual basis. The individual can perceive it as, because I say, oh girl, your hair's 4C, but that doesn't mean it's bad. That means that it's coilier and it may be thicker than an average person. It's more on the heavier side. But I never make them feel like, oh, ew, So it's the way we give it off to our client. And not only us in this group, but in all over. Everybody walking around with hair on their head. If you start going, then everyone else is gonna go, You know, it's like follow the leader. So if we say, wow, 4C, which is beautiful, you know what I can do? I can do twist out, cornrow, box braid. I can still flash iron you and make you silk press it. Like, you gotta make it, you gotta put off that it's not bad. There is no such thing as bad. God gave it to you. That's, you know what I mean?
Johnny, what about you?
Well, with the hair chart and the 4C, let's stick with I stick with the 4C because everyone says, oh, you know, my hair used to be so thick. So that means we're saying that we as colored people, we're saying all of us at one point said, wow, you know, when I was younger, I had 4C hair. But there's for kinks, for coils, for curls, all within that 4C section of it. I don't know if everybody knows that, but there are those 3 types of hair. Do I think it says everything that it should? No, I don't, because, you know, I don't even believe in that chart. I deal with it, but I don't necessarily agree with all of it. So for me, I'm going to say maybe I'm still in the middle. I'm still learning about the chart. I'm not totally for it.
Well, for me, I might get a little radical with this because you all probably know that I'm the oldest one of the bunch. I liken the hair chart to the paper bag test.
I can see that. I can see that.
So you're going to put your hair up against a chart and say, I have 4C hair. Like you putting your skin up to a paper bag and say, I'm darker than a paper bag. I don't believe in it. Kudos to Andre Walker for developing it, but it does a disservice to our clients, our business, our people. Most of us have more than one texture hair in our head, and you have to be able to address it. You might have some part of your hair that's straight, and other parts that are kinky, and you have to manipulate each part differently. But is there bad hair? Is 4C considered bad hair? Some people may consider 1A bad hair because that hair does not hold a curl at all.
Okay, well let's talk about it then. I got bad hair and it's 1A.
Yes, that hair does
Let's
not hold
talk
a
about
curl at all. No matter what you do to it, it does not hold a curl. You have to use a permanent, which puts in permanent curls into 1A hair for them to get a curl. Alana, what about you? What do you think about that?
I think sometimes I see people put like, oh girl, I got 6G. Like they'll try to go like
Girl,
even beyond
what
to
are they
the.
saying to us?
But what they're trying to say is my hair is so rough, and which is why I don't like it. And I feel like once they found out about this what is it called again?
The
Texture
chart, which was created by Oprah's hairstylist, right?
Andre Walker.
Andre Walker. Once they found out about that, I feel like humans love to categorize themselves. They can't help it, but we like to put ourselves in like certain boxes, right?
And that's an American thing. We like to categorize everything. Everything.
I wouldn't say American. I feel like this is like across all boards of all walks of life, really. But I feel like when it came to the natural hair movement, because this is when people were just starting to love their hair, trying to figure it out, then people found about this chart. So then it was just kind of like, okay, this hair is more easier to deal with. You saw all these products for like a 3A, a 3B, but when it came to 4C, it was just like dry. That was it. Like there was nothing to it.
You know what? To think about him just for a second, he actually created the chart because he was bringing out a line of product. So his ulterior motive was just to sell his product.
As usual.
Did he do all the research necessary for our hair?
Maybe
No,
not.
I don't think so. I doubted it very much. Oprah has a lot of hair, so he's used to dealing with her hair, but everybody don't have Oprah hair.
Mhm.
No one has, a lot of people have her hair. I can think of a lot of clients I have that has her hair.
Mhm.
Am I using stuff to tighten it? No. I'm gonna try and find a product that's going to release it and loosen it
Mhm.
to get through it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't really like the chart because it makes me feel like you said, like the paper bag test.
Yeah.
It makes me feel away. It makes me feel away.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like it.
Don't like it. Don't like it. I will have a conversation with my client and explain to my client why I don't like it.
Mhm.
I have a question for Alana and Miss Portia. Was the locks movement a way of dealing with your hair per se, as far as your texture?
For me, I feel like me having locks is the first time that I am not frustrated with my hair.
Okay.
That I don't have to like feel the need like, oh my god, I gotta do something. I feel like black women on a whole, I don't know about black men, but we always feel the need to do something with our hair. Like if it's just out, it's just like, girl, what you gonna do with that? You're gonna braid it up, you're gonna do something.
Do something.
So for the first time in my life, I was able to just wake up and like
Shake and go.
and that was just so amazing to me. And I feel like, why didn't I do this sooner? But that's also another thing.
Not only wake up and go and be cute, because
Right.
Janet has a thing where I have to laugh all the time. She says she just look like she just came out her bed. So they have been, before the sister lock, they have been waking up and going,
Yeah.
thinking
yeah.
that it was a twist out,
Thinking it's a twist out.
but it wasn't cute. So you know what I mean? It was unkept.
No shade to the natural sisters that are doing their hair, but if you're doing a twist out and your twist out look a hot mess, you might want to contain it just a little bit. And when I say contain it, you can put a nice little headband and then everything else is curly, but they have fish hooks. It's just not uniform. And they really feel okay about that. They didn't care.
I feel like the amount
Early
of time
2000, ooh,
the amount of time it takes, because what people like to do, everyone just likes to lay down, right?
yeah.
But as a loose natural, you can't just lay down because you're gonna wake up with knots. So I feel like that's why a lot of black women like to put their hair away, because they say, oh my god, it's too much to handle, because once they do the twist out, it's only good for that day. Because once you
Or
wake
two.
up, you're going like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
So it's just like you'd rather wear protective style till it's not protective anymore. We talked about that. So.
That's a whole conversation.
Portia,
Um,
was that a way of you dealing with your hair?
Okay, what it was it me a way of getting away from the perms. I got to a point where the perms were just burning.
Relaxer.
Yes.
Say relaxer.
That's right, relaxer. The relaxers were just burning. I had scabs in my scalp and I'm saying, I don't know what's going on. And then, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Menopause had a lot to do with it too, because your body chemistry changes. What I was able to do when I was 30, 35, and 40, I couldn't do when I was 50. The relaxer changed that. And then my hair was falling out. I would have long hair this week. 2 weeks from now, it cut short because it was just falling out. I said, I need a change. I can't continue to do the relaxer any longer. So I think it was around about 2005 is when I got the locks.
Kudos to you, because you're one of the first people that was at least recognized to say the key words that she used were my body was changing. So we need to also be fair to ourselves to say our bodies change, so that 4C here that we had when we was 12, if we're 55, we no longer have that anymore. Some of us do, but some of us don't, because guess what? Our body has changed so much along the way. So we need to be honest with ourselves. Ms. Portia, kudos to you for that.
Well, I'm
points.
always in tune with my body. Even when I was giving birth to my children, after I gave birth to my children, I noticed that my hair was falling out around here. It was because I wasn't taking the prenatal vitamins. You should stay on your prenatal vitamins for at least 18 months after the baby is born. Because the baby takes so many nutrients from you, the prenatal vitamins put them back in. Your hair will fall out a little bit. Not everybody, I'm saying in general, take the prenatal vitamins. Now, my next question, and I'll be the first one to answer this question. What type of hair do you best like to work on? Now, because I work with locks, I like a more coil or kinky hair. It seems to lock quicker. It doesn't need as much maintenance. I can do 2A, 2B, 2C here with locks because I have done that. But I like the kinkier hair. It locks better. Oh no, Anna, what about you?
So I usually do silk presses and quick weaves. The type of hair texture that I like to work on is heat trained hair. I know that's crazy, but it's just like you said, it's easier to manipulate and your hair will stay straighter for longer. I don't have to get a call saying, "Oh my God, my hair it puffed up." So I like heat trained hair. I don't think there's anything wrong with heat trained hair if it's done correctly. But that's my favorite texture.
Karen.
I like hair that has a coil, that's somewhat coily, because my main thing is weaving. So when I weave, sometimes I braid with extension, sometimes I braid without extension. But whether I braid with or without extension, I want the braid to stay. If the hair is too straight and silky and I'm braiding, the braid can slide out. When I'm sewing, the thread is not grabbing. I like the hair to have some type of coily or kink so that it can hold the braid, the sewing, the net, the cap, whatever it is that I'm covering the hair with.
Janet, what about
Well,
you?
for me, I'm going to go against everything that everyone says. It doesn't matter for me. I'm trained to be a hairstylist, and that's what I am. So I work with any kind of hair.
I hear
Kudos
that.
to me.
Okay, Miss Storm J, senior stylist.
Okay, now we're in the year 2000, 2020. The concept of good hair has changed. Why? Because we have now brought in extensions and wigs. So now what do we call good hair with extensions and weaves? We'll start with Alana.
Can you explain the question? What do you mean by with extensions and weaves?
Okay. So now we all know you could get bad hair,
Okay.
and we all know you could get good hair.
Right.
What's the difference between the two?
Like I said in the beginning, I think good hair is really like how you take care of it. Are you trimming your hair? Is it dry?
I'm talking about
No,
the
weave.
extension.
Extension weave.
weaves.
Good
Oh,
hair, as far
and
as
an
like
extension
yeah.
weave.
What do you like?
Okay, let me give you an example. You consider Kanika Lawn good hair or you consider pre-stretch good hair?
I like pre-stretch.
I know you were going to say that.
I like pre-stretch. It's easier to deal with. For me, I love textured weave because I think it matches African American texture the most. So I do not like the silky Chinese straight hair. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't consider that good hair. And honestly, sometimes they have a term. I think it's called like sweep hair or floor hair, and they basically take up the strands that's left on the floor and they'll put it together and they'll give you a bundle. So if you don't know that, that's what they do sometimes. So I don't really like that. I like Indian hair kind of. It kind of swells with humidity, so not that much. But I like any hair that's basically textured. I think that's the best hair. That's good hair to me.
Cameron, what about you?
I have to agree with Alana on that. I like weave hair that has some kind of, I don't like it bone straight with sharp ends and just silky like Barbie, like the original Barbie. I don't like that. It has to have some kind of wave, some kind of flow. I like kinky straight hair because I feel like kinky straight hair can be manipulated to match any African American hair texture. So if your hair is kinky, you can get kinky straight weave hair or kinky straight braiding hair, like pre-stretch texture. And it can flow into our hair kind of naturally and seamlessly. But if we get hair that doesn't have any kink, any wave, any coil, anything, it doesn't flow into our hair seamlessly. So, and it's harder to stay in your hair too. It's hard. It would slide out because it's so slippery and silky. That hair I really don't like. I don't consider that good hair.
All right, Janet, what about you?
Well, if you know me, I don't even have to tell you.
She's Malaysian.
That's right.
Malaysian?
They call me
By
Miss
Malaysian.
Malaysia, and Malaysian is my favorite hair. I think it does everything for us. It matches our hair. It has the density we need. It's probably just maybe a little bit smoother than our hair, but I like a hair to be from top to bottom needs to be the same density, and it tends to have that. So I extra love that hair. Extra love that hair.
So now when someone is buying weave hair or a wig, what should they be looking for for it to be considered good hair? Let me start with Karen on that.
Well, you can go by the grade. If you're a hairstylist, you might know what grades are: 7A, 8A, 9A, 10A, 11. It goes all the way up to like 15 or something. The higher the grade, the better the quality hair. And by better, I mean that purer the hair is. It's not chemically processed. It has been just from the donor to the vendor, allegedly. So the donor to the vendor is pure hair. It's not chemically treated. It doesn't have any relaxer or sodium on it or thioglycolate, any kind of harsh chemical on it. And that hair, we're able to color it. We're able to bleach it, dye it, rinse it, dip it in watercolor, do anything to it, flat iron it. It shouldn't burn with high heat or low heat. So unless it's extremely high heat. But that hair is considered the best hair, the unprocessed, pure virgin hair.
Johnny, what about you?
Again, I like raw. Anything that's raw, untouched, unbleached, it works better. You manipulate the hair how you want it. You know.
Okay, so I have a question.
I like Burmese and Malaysian. Those two here, I love.
I'm gonna give this question to Alana. Alana, client A comes in and say, "Girl, I got this good hair from ABC Beauty Supply. It can be straightened and curled and all that. And guess what? I only paid $39.99 per pack. Is that good hair?"
No, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna bust out a big laugh because no. I feel like that hair has just been covered in a type of wax that silicone that may look nice, but once you wash it, all the cuticles go in different ways and you wasted your $40. So no.
A lot of nesting in the back of your neck.
Oh yeah.
That's what they gave when we first became a thing. We as African American, we start wearing yaki hair, thinking that it was so nice and everything. Oh, it matches our hair texture.
I love me some yaki stuff.
Really, but the one thing that we didn't remember is that wet it and what happened?
Oh yeah,
It
it's done.
nests in the
It's
back.
only good for up until the shampoo. It's the balm to the shampoo.
Oh,
You just have to
perfect
know
until
that,
the shampoo. Yeah.
Get ready
I
for
think
throwing it away.
we learned that as we start working with it a lot more. We learned that we might not like this so much. This is really not the balm.
Yeah. I do not like lace closures from the beauty supply store. Like I don't like that. That just makes my life so much harder. Don't bring that to me. But anything else, any type of other hair, as long as you know the lifespan of the hair, I don't mind putting it in. As long as you know. It may be a day, it may be a week, but you need to know that.
All right, Karen. Employers, people in business, people who are looking to hire someone else. Do you think they have a concept of good or bad hair? And give an example.
Okay, so you're going into the corporate aspect of it. All of these decades, allegedly, people were, employers were looking for very neat professional looks. And I guess in their eyes, a neat professional look would be some straight, laid down, flat, contained hair. And that could be into a bun or ponytail or just hanging straight. But as soon as the hair became coily or curly or too colorful or just bigger than life, like afros, I feel like employers consider that to be unprofessional. So there were laws against it. Oh, your hair has to be, even when I went to high school, I went to Cardinal Stoughton High School, and for boys, their hair couldn't touch their collar, meaning they couldn't have braids or locks. So every boy in that high school had to have his hair in a Caesar. The flat top was in style when I was in high school, so they could have flat top, but to a certain degree, because even though we were students, they wanted us to still train ourselves to be professionals. So for girls, it was another story. We couldn't have, I could tell stories about braids, and they're like, take that out, it's unprofessional. But that was then. So I would say post 2015 or so, now the law has changed, and they're not supposed to discriminate on hiring anyone with any kind of hair style for the style. And I think personally they still do, but it's not a public thing. They may give you another reason, say you don't have as much experience as we're looking for, or you don't have the degree level, or your work is slow, or you're unproductive. But in all actuality, it has probably a lot to do with appearance aka your hairstyle, your dress, your this, your that. But they can't say that anymore because we can sue. We can sue.
Is it fair to say, not to be on their side 100% though, if you're in a professional environment, even if you have locks or if you have weave or whatever, it should be in a neat style where you look your best. Sometimes we have to be fair and be honest. We are out of pocket with a lot of the things we do with our hair. We want to wear pink and purple, or we just look different from everyone else. Some companies want to keep everyone looking uniform, looking the same way. So if here, coming down the line, we have everyone blue, black, blue, black, blue, black, blue, black, blue, black, and we get to you, purple and red, now everybody's like, oh, what happened? So is it just, they make their rules. It's either you're for it or you're against it. Some boys here are very neat and some boys are very neat, and then you have some that are just really untidy. Definitely, whether they're flat top, they have locks, or whatever they have, they come in here, their hair stink. It's full of weed. I mean, I don't know, is it me?
Well,
But
that sounds personal.
No,
like you had experiences with.
I'm just saying, in my opinion, that's just in my opinion. But if those rules are there, then everyone just do what they want to do. We have twist out that look like this side is smashed because I done slept on it, and this side is puffed out. So should they not have rules? I'm just saying.
They should have rules, but they have to use other excuses
True.
and not say, oh, because your hair is a hot mess, we will not fire you or not hire you. So they have to say, well, you're not what we're looking for, or whatever. Because now it's a law. They cannot discriminate on against hiring anyone or firing anyone according to their hair.
If you wear braids, they need to be neat. If you wear twists, gentlemen, they need to be neat. If you wear locks, it needs to look like something.
But what about freeform locks?
Absolutely not.
I don't even know why you brought that up.
Absolutely
Because
not.
that's a form of locks where it's
Yeah,
like,
but you see, this is what I'm saying. We like to go against the grain, but there's a time to go against and there's a time not to go against. You're not at the People's Fortune 500 company looking like that. You're not doing that because you know why? They're not going to allow
Let
you.
me
They
jump
will
in.
find that excuse
They'll
to say,
oh, you're
peace
not
out.
what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into another part of that. Now, Alana brought up free-forming locks. Okay, let's take a person who is established financially, like a
Okay.
Jay-Z
Okay.
or Lil Wayne or
I don't know
someone.
why
They
you
have
like
free
Little
form.
Wayne got 3 locks left.
Ooh,
He got
Lil
3
Wayne.
locks.
I was going to say
I
10.
understand.
I was gonna say 10.
But does Lil Wayne? Okay, Lil Wayne hair don't look good. But if Lil Wayne went to IBM for the district manager's position, do you think they would hire him with his hair like that?
No.
Because they're
No.
white.
It's
They're
not just because his hair is like that, but he has all these tats on his face.
Right.
And he just doesn't look like he's ready
So,
to be a
okay,
district
let's
manager.
eliminate the tats. Let's say he had flawless, Fenty natural born skin without the tattoo, but his hair still look like that. Should he be hired or not?
When
Personally,
he first came out, Karen,
when he first
had
came out,
beautiful
personally.
locks.
He did.
yeah.
Oh my God.
But
his locks
now,
is
his hair needs help.
So he would be a prime example of a person, and I only use him, no shade against Lil Wayne, because I love his music, but I only use him because everyone knows what he looks like,
Right.
like the audience. So, but as the hiring person at the company, you cannot say, well, your hair is really not up to par. You have to say something else.
No, you definitely have to say something else. You definitely have to say something else. Personally, when I feel that you go into the office or go into the job market, you need to have personal pride. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, do I look like I fit this job?
Absolutely.
True, but that's subject to opinion.
It might be
In his
subjective.
magic mirror might be telling him,
It's
I'm perfect
perfect.
for the
Yeah.
job. I can bring in another market. I can get the whole urban community to buy into this product. So it depends. Like, you as an employee, an employer, you have to
Be open.
be open. But I guess you don't want anyone to look like they're gonna.
Because then it's representing your company.
That's
so if
right.
you're supposed to go out and try to get whoever you need to,
Mhm.
those people don't know your accolades
That's
and
right.
everything.
Mhm.
That's right.
They just see that your hair looks
crazy.
not like they
Right.
would want to see it as. And I feel like a lot of people in that position, and I'm gonna say it, white people, they have a certain vision of what a black person should look like. So if it doesn't fall into their category, they're like,
Automatically.
I don't think so.
I think Disney is one of those companies that they have to wear their hair a certain way. They don't care if you have down to your toe
Ankle.
point. They could care less. But when you get to work, you better wrap that up so it don't touch your collar.
And the army too.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't
Also-
care. It could be long like the floor,
Yeah.
but you better put it up.
Mm-hmm.
Find
Also,
somewhere.
another place that's what I was saying is not just America, because in the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, in school, you as a boy, your hair has to be cut low if you have hair like mine. But say if you're of Indian descent, or if you're a white Jamaican, or whatever else, if you have loose hair, you can grow your hair long. They
Yeah.
don't. There's not a problem with that. So it's just like, why? Where's the disconnect? Why can
That's
they
not
grow their
right.
hair long?
Yeah, that's not right.
And Jamaica is a black, it's a black country
Predominantly, yeah.
predominantly. So
Predominantly.
what that goes to show you that like this whole good hair, bad hair, it stretches across the
Let
entire
me ask you a
diaspora.
question.
In the islands,
the
they
Prime
got color
Minister?
problems. You know
They
that.
do.
They do.
Big
But
time,
is the
big
Prime
time.
Minister of Jamaica black?
No, I don't think so. If
Is
he is,
he?
he's probably like
Andrew
mulatto or
Holden
something.
is his name, I think.
Oh, they
Prime
hate him.
Minister's-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really. Ooh.
But is he
A whole
black
bunch
or
of
he's
black
I
race.
haven't seen him, but
Mm-hmm.
regardless, even if he was, I believe he's like brown skin, if I'm
Light
not
skinned
mistaken.
guy, yeah, I saw a
Mhm.
picture.
But as usual in Jamaica, all of the people up top are white.
Mm-hmm.
They all are.
I never did understand that.
I don't
That's
understand that.
because that's just how it is
It's-
everywhere.
But no, you're right, because even in Africa, as many black million of people that are in that 51 countries inside the continent of Africa, all of the dignitaries are white.
They're white.
I can't even understand that.
Why is
That
that?
makes no sense to me.
Brainwashing.
No, I don't.
You gotta be another answer.
Brainwashing.
You gotta
It
be
has to
another
be another
answer.
answer.
You got to be
And
another
so,
answer.
and
something has to
colonization.
happen. Colonization.
Yeah.
But
and,
something else
and
has
what is
to
it called
happen.
again when you go to a country and you push your religion on somebody? What is that called again?
That's like,
Evangelize. When you evangelize,
Yeah.
the Africa and the whole diaspora has been evangelized. So
Well, only because the African people believed in it. If you try to push your religion on me and I don't sign up, then you have failed, and I'm gonna continue running my own country.
But if I come to you and say, "Oh, Christ is your savior," believe in Catholicism, but I'm also bringing you food and clothes, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, maybe you're right," because I never had food and clothes before. Now.
Right. The thing is,
They
again,
got them.
back again to the big eyes. We really have big eyes, and that's always been a problem, and it will continue to be a problem if we don't decide to love ourselves. If we can't love ourselves, there's no way to love anyone else. You know.
So
Amen.
we've gone off the hair topic. Bring it back, people. We're gonna talk about Africa and the diaspora and everything else.
What's the next question?
The next question is, I'm going to start with Alana with this question. Do you feel that there are some acceptable hairstyles to wear for a job interview or on the job? And I'm talking about if you have a Fortune 500 kind of job, not a job working at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there is. When I went for my interview, I had my little half wig on, and when I got the job, I took that right off, and I had whatever I had on.
And they said,
Mhm,
Alana, what is that on your head?
I was like, "Oh my God, your hair looks so different." Yeah, it does.
Did they actually, did you cut it?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Did they say it looked nice?
No.
The word was different. Oh, it's
Yeah, it looks different.
different.
Cause they know I was right up HR. Like I don't play. But honestly, I do think there is an acceptable. Even when you're interviewing with another black person, they will look at you, and you do have to be in a wig. Everyone, there's this thing called an interview wig. Everyone knows it. Like I'm put my
I
interview
don't know it
wig
because I never
on.
had a job.
Yeah.
I've been owning my business.
Yes, but if you haven't been owning your own business, everyone knows that you have to come presentable. A low fade, you cannot have the braids out or the afro. You just feel like you can't, and then when you do, that's when you kind of like take off the mask and you come in whatever you want to come in with.
That's funny, an interview
Right.
wig.
Yeah.
Let me get my bob
What is it?
interview
Just
wig.
regular
Interview wig
under bang.
It's something that's straight that you can hide your hair, and that's what it is. We hide our hair. I'm gonna say it.
What
The
did I
interview
do? I didn't
way.
work somewhere before.
And get
So
the position and then boom, bam, break out into the
Take it off.
feeless,
I think I pulled my
the
hair
not
back
pretty,
in one.
Mm-hmm.
If I
just come
remember
with your
correctly.
real stuff.
What about you, Karen? Is there an appropriate way to go to a job interview or work in a Fortune 500 company?
Yes, a neat way. Just be neat. Your hair can be, I mean, you shouldn't have hot pink hair. That probably would be a maturity level. If you're over 18 and you're applying for a job, you should know that kitty things should be left for the club or wherever, the artistic world. But a Fortune 500 world, you should be neat and professional, and that's it. Even if you have locks, if you have braids, even if you have a natural twist out, contain it and let it be neat. That was my whole thing when I tried to get locks. I was like, I'm gonna try, and Portrait said, you're not gonna make it, and you were right, because it was a stage in that process that wasn't neat, and I could not handle. I need to be neat every day, even if I'm going to the laundromat. I need to just be neat. So, applying for Fortune 500 job, the only requirement that I have for you, no matter what texture your hair is, from 1A to 4C, neatness. Neatness.
Jen, I'm going to flip it a little bit for you because she's our trade person. She believes in a trade. If you're going for a trade job interview, is there something called interview here? What's appropriate to go?
I don't know if they would actually, and what trade are we going for?
Name the trade.
I don't know, you give me a trade.
Let's say mechanic, construction, or carpenter.
I don't think they have a dress code. They more likely, I mean, I know that
No, you're going for the
I'm
interview.
of age where I know to be neat. So even if I had locks, I would pull it back out of my face, because when you're doing a trade, if you're doing mechanic work, Portia, you don't want it to get caught
Of
in
course
what
not.
you're doing.
Of course
So, I mean, I'm smart enough to know that. So, of course, with any other thing else, I agree. You need to be neat, and you need to, so they can see your face. That's what they want to see, right?
Right.
They want to see your face. So you know that. I teach my son that, and he has braided hair or whatever. That's his age group. But I tell him when he's going certain places, I pull his hair out of his face so they can see his gorgeous face.
Lord, plug for Jaden.
Of course.
For me, if you're going for a job interview, be understanding of the color of your hair. I agree with Karen. You don't want to do purple, pink, yellow, green, fantasy colors. If your hair doesn't grow that color, don't wear it.
Mm-hmm.
You can play around with the style. Make sure, again, it's neat and off your face. If you have starter locks, go get them twisted in a style. If you have braids, you pull it back in a bun, off your face. They want to see your face. They want to make sure that they can see your facial expressions and what's going on. They want to see your eyes. Are they red? Are they bloodshot? What's going on with that?
They want to see the no weed
They
eyes.
want to see the no weed eyes, no drinking eyes, the no drugging eyes. They want to see that. They want to see that. Especially if you're coming in with a well-coiffed suit, your hair should be coiffed also. Take that time to pull it off your face. Makeup to me is neither here nor there.
Optional.
I don't wear makeup on a regular basis. Our makeup artist didn't show today, so if I have on no makeup today, I may wear makeup one day a month, and that's for the podcast. That's it. But you should be neat and clean. Women wear little post earrings, little dangling, nothing this big. Men, make sure you don't have on a huge gold chain. If you have piercings in your ears, take those out for the interview, because you don't know how that's going to be. Now, people are saying, when you get the job, you come in and you show who you are. You have to wait until that.
They like you.
After
Know your
3 months.
capabilities.
You have to wait until that test period, the probation period is over, and then you slowly show who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I once had a girl that I did her locks for. She said, I have a new interview. She said, I'm going to wear my hair wrapped. I'm going to have just 2 locks hanging down. So they know I am locked. If they choose not to accept it, this is the time to do that. And she did that. She got the job. And week by week, she started showing more and more and more of her hair. It's a shame that you have to play that game.
Yeah.
But it is a game.
Yeah.
It's the game of being employed, so you can pay your bills and feed yourself. So it's a game. I think that's why a lot of young people are trying to start their own businesses so they don't have to play that game.
Yeah.
However, if you're starting your own business, one of the criteria, and this is off the subject, please be articulate. Please know what you're talking about. Please speak in complete sentences.
And have good customer service.
And have good customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Goes a
good
long
customer
way.
service. You know, you can't be like, oh, you know what's up, man. You know, you can't do that. You
Mhm.
can't do that.
Well, they feel they can do whatever they want to do.
And it
The
depends on what their
average
business is
a
too.
person under, let's say 30, they feel that they can do what they want to do, and they're not staying nowhere more than 2 years. So
No, but if they're starting their
Regardless of
own
No,
business,
starting their own.
if they're
business.
starting their own business, you have to gain clientele, and
do.
clientele is not much different than corporate 500.
absolutely.
You have
The
to be
rules
able to
have not
rule.
changed. You know,
You
my
have to
father
rule
used to
their
say,
in.
my father says the rule has not changed since you've been 10,
Mhm.
and he meant that to this day. I'm 57, and the rules has not changed.
And Portia, just to jump in on what you said about makeup, the last corporate-ish job I had, which was teaching at a beauty school, they said the instructors have to wear makeup every day.
Mm.
It is a must.
Mm.
You cannot not wear makeup.
Mm.
Period.
Mhm.
This beauty industry, you should look beautiful
Mm.
in their eyes.
Right.
Well, when
You
I
know
was
what I mean?
teaching, I did wear makeup every day. I'm no longer teaching. I'm self-employed in the hair industry, doing natural hair. My skin is natural. My hair is natural,
You'll be perfect.
and I'm good.
You're perfect.
I'm good.
You're not corporate. You
No,
don't,
I'm not
there is
corporate.
There's
I-
no rule book.
I have a bag full of makeup if I need to, but
Mhm.
I don't wear it on a regular basis. It just doesn't feel comfortable.
I want to say something as far as the corporate world is concerned. I actually used to work Fortune 500, and I used to be I'd say inside sales rep. I hated to hear boop in my ears. That's the next call in my ears. I hated it so much. Did not know, finishing that, leaving, coming back to another world, which is hairstyling. I figured to myself I would never have to live by numbers again, because if you know me, you'll know the thing I do. I love to tell you what I'm not going to do. Not realizing that numbers control everything. Well, here we are. We're hairstylists. I'm doing my own thing, whatever. But if Wednesday I ain't got no customer, I'm sending a text. What's up?
Mhm.
Because every single thing. So it goes around. It might be in a different way, but numbers control everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do in life. I didn't realize that.
True.
So now I'm going to start with Alana with this question, because we touched on it. Color. Is that good or bad?
When you color your hair.
Yeah. How is that in general?
I think it is okay. Are you saying in terms of the health of your hair, or like where you're at in like a space?
Both.
For the health of your hair, no. It looks nice, but any type of chemical that you put on your hair, it's not good. It's gonna show up sooner or later. I mean, you can preserve the health of your hair, but it takes a lot of upkeep, a lot of conditioning, and then you have to reapply the color. And honestly, I think there was like an autopsy. Someone had like colored their hair, and it actually seeps into your brain. So, but for the space that you're in or you're occupying, I do agree. When you're in like a corporate company, it should be natural colors that grow out of your hair naturally. So no blue, no orange. If you're in like a creative company, totally do it. Express yourself how you should. But I don't like. I actually like to see older people with different colors. I think it's fun. I like seeing the old granny with like purple hair. I love
Well,
it.
see, when
That's
you're
a
older,
shampoo.
no, when you're older, you don't have anybody to impress besides yourself.
You're probably retired
So
or
you
whatever.
can, you can play with those colors.
Mhm.
Karen, what about you? Color, good or bad?
Color is fun. Color is fun, and I agree with Alana on the depending on your job. If you're corporate, you know that your color should look somewhat natural, like something that could have grown out of your hair. I might not be blonde by birth, but blonde hair can grow out of someone's scalp. So if I have 2 or 3 blonde highlights, it shouldn't be alarming at a corporate
Right.
position.
Right.
But if I have 2 or 3 hot pink highlights at a corporate position, that might be alarming.
Right.
So if you're in a field artistic, like you're in entertainment, you're a painter, you're a singer, or you're a nail technician, a makeup artist, a hairstylist, then it might be a little bit more appealing to be more colorful. because people would be attracted to your, you know, yeah, your pink hair,
Creativity,
your creativity. You're more artsy. You're more, you know, it's a word that I'm looking for that I'm not getting, but you're just more artsy and you're more fun. So depending on your field, color is good. Over processing is never good, whether it's color, relaxer, permanent wave, anything. But as far as color goes, I think it's a good thing. And a lot of my clients say to me, I look terrible in my natural hair color. Like, no, it doesn't look good on me. I need it to be blonde or I need to be golden. A lot of them. So that's what we do. We either color it or we'll add colored hair to their hair. Still a natural look, but it does look better on them. I have a lot of clients that the black hair is not for them.
Janet, what about you?
Well, I find that a lot of people, as they get older, they don't like black hair so much any longer. And for various reasons, you know, they said it makes them, it's too much on their face. They don't like it so much on their face.
Older.
But I like a black hair. I still like a black hair.
I don't
I
like
think
it
it's so nice, especially when you do certain things to it. It looks so good. It's nice and even. I like it.
I feel like it draws more of a contrast to the wrinkles that
Yes.
you have on your face. Seriously. So I like things that are
Soften.
lighter, yeah, when you're older.
Okay, I'm going to start with Karen with this question. What can we do as hairstylists to foster a positive image of good hair to our clients?
Okay. So as hairstylists, if we have younger clients, that to me is the best time to start instilling the fact that your hair is really good. So to me, it's either you're tender-headed or you're not. The tender-headed people start to believe that they don't have good hair, even if they do. Because I have several clients that have very soft hair, but they're like, ooh ah, even though their hair is soft. So they feel in their mind that they have bad hair, and I'm like, your hair is very soft. I don't know. I think it's just because you're tender-headed. So I think we need to start instilling the fact that there is no bad hair. You just might be a little sensitive in your scalp. The reason you believe that it's hurting and it's bad because it hurts, no. So for our clients, I like to focus on the younger ones. The older ones, they kind of set in their ways. It is what it is. We still can say it is good. I think we need to start saying exactly what it is. The reason you don't like your hair is because your ends are split, or the reason you don't like your hair is because you have dry hair, or because your roots are too kicky, or something or the other. But it's never bad. We have to start instilling to them. Go right to it. What is their problem? Their problem is it's hard to comb. So we need to tell them, you need to hydrate your hair, you need to moisture your hair, you need to sit and get a steam, you need to do this. So go right to the root of the problem.
Janet.
I would say we need to educate and define what's going on with them. To be honest, let them know. Educate them while they're sitting in your chair. Explain to them, try products. Introduce them to things. If their hair is dry, introduce them to moisture in many ways. So I would say educate them as they come.
Alana, what about you?
I feel like you hold a lot of trauma in your body, and I feel like your first experience with your hair, you never forget it. So if you have a bad experience, even if it doesn't hurt, you're just automatically you're gonna flinch. I really do think that it's important to be gentle and explain to them. And honestly, those people who have bad experience, it's kind of hard to bring them back because you already had a bad experience. It's really about the younger generation when it's their first time to get their hair done, even as babies. I tell my sister all the time, from the ends, not the roots, massage her hair. Make sure she has a great experience, because even though she's a baby, she's going to hold that. And when she's 1 or 2, I used to hide the combs. I don't even remember doing that. But I just knew that comb meant pain. So I think it's very important from a young age to give them a good experience with their hair.
Well, that's the next question, actually. What advice can you give a parent to foster in their daughters a positive influence for their hair?
I want to go back to what Alana said a few minutes ago.
Okay.
I do, because it's
But to hide the combs.
No, not to hide the comb. She says, if I'm combing your hair, I don't have time to play with you. I'm the hairstylist. I don't have time to play with you.
But she was
You
talking about
come-
at home.
No, even at home, I'm doing your hair. I don't see me. I'm just not that person. I'm gonna try my best for it not to hurt you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm your mother. I'm not gonna do nothing to hurt you. But I need to get it done. Okay, time is against you. You gotta rush. The one time you step out of line and you comb my hair too hard, are you a bad mommy?
Yeah, but my thing is, what's your technique? Because honestly, if the hair is moisturized and detangled,
Every
it
day.
really shouldn't be an issue. And it's not about playing, but it's about taking the time. Honestly, why you didn't do your daughter's hair earlier? Why did you wait till the last minute?
Because we
Right
just
now,
found
time is
out.
against you.
Yeah, your husband just called you and said blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
the one time you
Mhm.
have to rush her.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? If you can't do it all the time,
Yeah, but that's an
Then what?
outlier, right? That's an
You know, what
outlier.
you
That's
gonna
not like
do?
that's the entire experience.
Yeah.
There's times where your hair is gonna hurt because we're rushing.
yeah.
But if it's always hurting, then that's a different story. I think so.
And kids are kids. You know they're gonna run, they're gonna scream. They want to do it sometime. They don't want to do it the next time. What do I do?
I think it just depends, honestly. I feel like a lot of kids, a lot of black kids, they grow up with trauma with their hair, their 1st experience, so they do not like getting their hair. They hate it. It hurts, it's dry. And then I honestly think, going back to Miss Portia's question, how women can help their daughters, they need to learn how to deal with their own hair first. They need to learn how to take
The
care of it.
moms?
How does it
Yeah.
feel when you drag your hair?
The
Does it
pregnant
hurt?
moms?
Yes.
It hurts.
Because they don't realize, they're like, oh, she's just but how about you do that to your hair and you see if you're screaming? Oh, you are? Okay, so it does hurt to your child. What are you doing? Take the wig off. Let your daughter see you wearing your own hair so she can see that it's okay to wear my hair. Like, start to experience your hair yourself before you try to do your own daughter's hair.
I had a customer, as you say that puts to mind. Her daughter, first of all, her daughter had a different texture from her. She had very soft hair, but her daughter hair was, the daughter had the mother had the soft hair, but the daughter hair was a little bit more, coarse or whatever. Her mother cut her hair. The mother cut her hair.
Yes.
Because she says, I don't want her to feel like her hair is different from mine.
But it
never,
is.
I never forgot that about her because she had a whole bunch of hair and she just didn't care. Big kudos to her. I really like that she did that. Just because
But
her
her
daughter,
hair-
you know what her daughter, she said she pets me like I'm a dog all the time.
But her hair is different than her mom. She needed to learn how to love her hair.
Yeah, but how do as
Not
the
cut it off.
parent, her mother is saying she's thinking mine is so nicer than hers. So she said, you know what? To avoid that, to avoid that, she figured, you know what? Okay, enough. I don't want her to pet me like I'm a dog. I don't want her to keep thinking that my hair is so nice and hers is not.
Oh.
So she cut it.
So she cut her hair or her daughter's hair?
No, she cut her hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought
I
you said
thought you
you
meant
said-
she cut the daughter's
No, no,
hair.
daughter's
no,
hair.
the mother cut the hair off because
Okay.
she's
On my
like,
page?
yeah,
Oh.
enough
No
of that.
questions on my page.
So I do have something to say
Yes.
about that because when I worked in a white salon, I would see a lot of these white mothers coming with their half black children, and they would cut their hair
Yeah.
off
They
because
cut it off?
It drives
because
me
they
crazy.
couldn't deal with it.
Oh,
They
that
don't
drives me
know how.
crazy.
So it does happen.
Yeah.
They
They
say,
don't
I don't
know
know
how.
what to do. Please just
Yeah.
cut her
Oh,
hair.
that drives me in.
They don't know
Same.
how.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's just answer, I'm sorry, let's just answer this last question and then we'll see if there's any questions from the audience. Karen, what can we do, what can we tell our clients, or the men and the females, how to tell their children, boy or girl, that their hair is a positive for them?
We have to just say what it is. Your hair is beautiful.
Mhm.
There is
Mhm.
no such thing as bad hair. If I could make a poster board and just flag it around the world like this from the sky, there is no such thing as bad hair. Like I said 100 times, God gave you that hair. Love it. Learn to manage it. It is not impossible. You're not the first one on the earth with that hair texture. That hair texture goes back billions of years. Learn to love it and deal with it. If it's too hard, you gotta go to the root. If it's hard, soften it. If it's weak, strengthen it. If it's the ends are split, cut it off. You have to go problem by problem until you get to a point where it's manageable and you can live with it. We as adults talking to men and women, learn to love your hair. I wear a lot of different types of hairstyles, but I love my hair. I do. I love my hair. So you just gotta, and I've never complained about it ever, and I never taught my daughter to complain about her hair, and she doesn't even want me to do her hair. I'm like, come let me do your hair. And she's like, I got this. I can manage my hair myself.
All right.
You hardly ever see her in the salon, and I only got one. You would think that, oh, I know your daughter gets this and that. No, she's in her house with all her million of product, her curly girl products, and she's managing her hair because I taught her to love it, handle it, deal with it, manipulate it, try different products, learn, try until you get it right. And in her eyes, she got it right, and we're all happy. You know what I mean? So I think that we have to tell people, learn to love your hair. Maybe see a professional who can pinpoint what your problems are, so that you will no longer have problems. You understand?
Janet, what about you?
I agree. I agree with what Karen's saying. You teach, each one teach one. You know, people come along, you try to tell them how. That's our job. We're here as the hair professional, so we're here to teach everyone how to love their hair. You know, we got to deal with it. There's no shame in it.
Alana, what about you?
Like I said before, as a mother or father, I think it starts with you. So you have to wear your own hair. You have to take care of your own hair, just to teach your child how to do their own hair as well.
Tina Marie, do we have any questions from the audience?
There are a few. Let me scroll up. So NP Beckford, this was when you guys were talking about locks. They asked, is that a way for a person to achieve length? Because not everyone can achieve length like on their own free form.
Okay, I would say for every lock client that I have, their hair has grown as long as they maintain their hair. It's not a carefree style. You have to do something to maintain it. So you just can't get up in the morning, fluff it out, and go. You have to come for your retightening on a regular basis. You have to wash it. You have to put some kind of moisturizer in it. You do have to take care of it. So it's not just a get up, fluff, and go. Unless you have sister locks. Sister locks is a different story because it does not require as much daily maintenance.
That's Nicole with the hi man.
Hey, we missed you.
Hair Jadeite?
Yeah. Oh.
Hair Jadeite says, do you think that as black people, we go out of our way to patronize each other's business? Yes or no? That's when you guys were talking about going to hairstylists that know your hair.
We do.
We do.
There's a whole hashtag.
We buy. Remember, we buy hair from all other nations. But I want everyone to know, which they probably don't know, hair like 4C hair, you can purchase it now. It's more expensive than that Malaysian hair. Just in case.
Expensive.
Yeah. More
And-
than that Malaysian hair I love so much.
But I do think that that's Terry from Jadeite Hair.
Yes.
Hey
Hi,
Terry. So we want to support black owned businesses. We do need to support it way more. He is a black owned business owner who has beautiful hair called Hair Jadeite that we need to learn about. We just need to support each other. We need to do the research, find out who sells what, and buy from each other.
Karen, you really need to give them the plug. That's Hair Jadeite. You got
Okay.
your hair now.
Hair Jadeite. Yeah. Well, I got it in my hair now. I didn't do much to it, but it's in there. And they're good. They're good line. They're a very good line.
Sharon Jack also says, color is fun, but I'm tender-headed and I don't know what to do with my hair anymore. So any suggestions on like go-to styles for people who may be tender-headed?
When I ran out of styles, I got locks. Literally.
Does she want to remain?
Tender-headed.
It's a big deal. Does she want to remain natural? Does she want to do any other things?
I don't think she wants to do, Sharon Jack.
Yeah, she does. No, I know
She doesn't
does.
want to do any chemicals, so sister locks will be beautiful. And Sharon likes to switch her hairstyle. She's a going out girl, so she does want to. She might throw a wig on here and there, but like Alana said, even with sister locks, she can do those things. You still have the options and flexibility. So if you're tender-headed and you still want to be beautiful, the sister locks is absolutely gorgeous.
And the last question is by Yudi Perez Cosmetology.
Oh, hey,
Yudi, we
It
love
was when you
you.
guys were talking about kinky straight hair. What's the difference between a wash and set or natural hair and a silk press on natural kinky hair?
There is no such thing as a wash and set on kinky hair. How do you get kinky hair on a roller? I need someone to tell me because I know for a fact that you can't.
You use
Not
foam.
if you really no.
You use
You
foam.
use foam.
And it comes out bubbly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Real bubbly.
real
Yeah.
bubbly.
But
you're
understand,
And how do you roll it over? Do you understand the proper way to set a hair is that your hair is supposed to be smooth on the rollers?
Mm-hmm.
So how are you getting kinky hair smooth?
I mean, it's
on a
gonna be
roller.
the smoothest it can be. It's gonna
No,
be a
no,
marathon.
let's not make
And the
exceptions,
blow
but
dryer
it's
and the flat
impossible.
iron does all the work.
understand the reason why they roll your hair is to aid in the drying process. So you
Okay.
still don't have to blow dry as long. You do have to blow dry, but not as long.
That's so silly because
That's
it's
really
not
silly.
gonna come
It
out
is.
good.
Yeah.
So you need to get your answer is a wash and a set for natural hair is not exactly conducive.
It's not
Let's not say it's
traditional.
not the best thing to do to natural hair because a wash and set means to wash, condition, and put on rollers as in a roller set. But to set natural hair, that's more work than actually just washing, conditioning, and blow drying it. Or maybe putting it in big twists and let them sit on the dry, let the air suck out first, and then blow drying it. The rollers and the natural hair, I personally don't waste my time with that.
I want everyone to know as well, the whole wash and set process, that's not really us doing that. That's another set of individuals
There's
that's doing
another
that.
set
That's
of
sneaking and
services.
perming your hair privately, not letting you know that that's what they're doing. I mean, I ain't calling no name. I didn't call no name, but I'm just telling you, for the natural 4C people, you're not getting a wash and
Let me-
set. Wash, blow, and curl, you're getting.
Let me
That's what
ask you
you're
a
getting.
question, Janet. How can a hairstylist, if I came in with an afro and I said I want to wash and set at the salon,
Mhm.
and how could they secretly relax me?
They can do it liquid form, and you'll never know.
Vigorol.
Vigorol is one of the ways to do it.
It's a liquid relaxer. It looks
Yeah.
like hot oil treatment.
Yeah.
And when you put it in your hair and you run it through a couple of times, it relaxes the hair. It's a liquid relaxer as opposed to a cream relaxer. So if you're at the sink, you never saw a jar of cream coming, but if they're just running through it, you might think, oh, that's nice hot oil or something. It is Vigorol. Vigorol is a liquid relaxer. It's been out since the 50s.
And it just really relax the hair a little
Relaxes the
bit.
curl
So
pattern.
then you could probably put it on the roller and you still ain't getting no smooth set. Because I don't know what they're doing.
Well, it's all in the blow dryer and the flat iron. After you roller set and it's still like rollers
Mm-hmm.
in a roller position, but kinky. Now the blow dryer and the flat iron still has to do all the work.
That's 3 heat processing. You don't fried your hair for what?
Mm-hmm.
That's not including the liquid perm they put, the liquid relaxer they put in your
If they
hair.
put it in there, we just assuming that they're using it.
They're using something. I mean, I ain't calling no name.
Well,
The last question is from Bernice White Gaynor. Yeah, you did. People really like this conversation.
Hi, Trisha.
Hey Trish, woo!
So she asks, as it pertains to good hair, like, are there any products that can contribute to like having good hair?
Moisturizer. Moisturize your hair.
Like
Well-
what kind? Like be
What
specific.
we've learned,
And conditioner.
what we have learned from the natural hair movement, can products change the texture of your hair?
I don't think so.
I think so.
You don't think so?
100%. I know
What product
so.
do you think?
It
could change
depends
your
on the
hair?
texture of hair you have. If you're going to put more moisture in the hair, you're going to wash the hair and do certain things to the hair, you'll find that the hair becomes more manageable.
Okay, you said that's what you said.
Product.
Moisture. For me, it's
Mhm.
clarifying your hair to get whatever gunk is off of it in the
Okay.
first place, and the more water the cuticle is able to allow to be in the hair, that is when you start to see a difference in the texture or how the manageability. But it's really about clarifying, getting whatever is off of your hair first,
Mhm.
and how much water the other cuticle can take.
Question for you though, since you're in the 2000s. As far as you're saying clarifying, how often should you be clarifying your hair?
I think it depends on what you do to your hair, really. If you put a lot of product on it, then you should clarify it. I would say at least once a week or twice yeah, I know that's crazy, but it depends.
Alana.
Well, I wash my hair twice
Okay,
a week
so
when my hair is
What
wet.
nationality are you speaking
I'm
to
very
Okay,
black.
understand she has locks. She
I have
can
locks.
wash her hair 2-3 times a week.
Mm.
Janet has natural hair. She can
Okay,
wash her
wait.
hair 2-3 times a week.
But I'm
You
also
cannot.
saying,
No,
I'm
and I
also
would not,
saying,
even if I didn't.
I'm also saying, okay, so one, the water can't be too hot because now your scalp is getting dry, now your hair is getting dry.
Mhm.
And I feel like
Cool.
too, yeah, it depends on what you're doing. We have the girlies that are putting makeup and glue and got to be spray all on their edges. You do have to wash your hair. You do.
You
And
have
you
to wash
haven't-
your hair, but when they do, the got to be in the all that stuff all piled up.
Mhm.
They plan on keeping that wig on for X amount of time,
And that's their
not
problem.
less than a week.
And that's why they bald now because
They-
they do not want to
absolutely.
take the time.
No, but I mean,
to wash their
wait. We get off the topic because what was the original?
It was about products.
Products.
What
Making
products
sure-
can
yeah.
be-
I think there's no product.
Right.
There's no specific product. It all depends on like the porosity of your hair. How much is your hair dry or can it take moisture? Then you can go to okay, what products do I need? I cannot tell you Aunt Jackie because I don't know the type of hair that you have. So
And
It depends on
also,
your hair.
all the natural girls who have been natural for a while, you all know, is a whole bunch of trial and error.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
might work on Alana may not work on me. What works on Janet may not work on Karen.
Yeah.
So you're buying all these products. You end up with $250, $300
Like my
worth
daughter.
of product
Yeah.
that you can't use. So it's
Yeah.
all a matter of trial and error. We cannot tell anyone to say, go buy this will work on your hair. We don't know.
Right.
And
Well-
it may work when you leave the shop, but 2 days later you feel that your hair is just soaking up the product. So you have to
Every
think.
person that sells a natural hair product can tell you why their product will work for you. Every one of them.
Yeah.
They can tell you why it will
Yeah.
work, and they'll have the scientific answer, Alana, for you.
Mhm.
Why it's going to work, whether it be the cuticles or whatever,
Mhm.
it's going to be like that. But I can promise you, does product change your hair? Yes, 100%
Okay.
of the time it does. It will. If you're constant use and if you find the right one, that's the key.
I think it will change the
If
texture
you
to a
find the
certain
right
degree.
one, yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm not saying it's gonna make you all straight and
No.
and
I think that's
carry
what
on.
people might think.
No,
No,
It
no,
won't
no,
do
not
that.
It will
like
make
that.
your hair more
Manageable.
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 What we're
Well,
talking
since,
about.
since no one wants to talk about a product, I'm gonna have to shout out.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to shout out Design Essentials because I personally absolutely love Design Essentials. Design Essentials products will change the texture of your hair to a certain degree if you use it
Manageability.
constantly. It makes it more manageable. It definitely does. You have to know which part of the line works for your hair texture, and over time of constant use, it will soften your hair and make it more manageable
Well,
without chemicals.
If
I-
your other niece was here, she would say, because she loves and swear by it, Camille Rose, because she,
Shout out
for
to
some reason,
Sandy.
shout out to Sandy.
Oh, we didn't shout out the other stylist.
The other niece, if the other niece was here, that's her product. She likes it. For some reason, she liked her product. So you're gonna find something out there
Right.
that you find that it's just working for you, and your hair your hair feels nice.
But everybody needs a clarifying shampoo.
Everybody does.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing
Absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah, in common, we all have that in common. We need
Going
it.
back to Design Essential, I've been using it just about exclusively in the salon on 90% of my clients. There's always one or two that can't take it, that won't you be able to use it, but 90%, like Karen says, there's something for every hair texture, every type of dryness, every scalp issue. There's something for
I have a question.
everybody.
This is my question that just popped into my head. I want everybody out there that watches this podcast, send me a product from the 90s that still remain relevant and will coexist in this world today for natural hair. Whether it was natural or relaxed hair from back then, from the 90s, because I remember all the products.
I have
Emergency
one.
Nexus.
I have one also, Palmer's
me.
hair treatment. It's an
Hair
orange
Success.
cream. Hair Success.
Hair
It's an
Success.
orange cream. I use that.
You felt that? You know what I felt about Palmer's Skin Success? It was more for skin than hair because it did
Yeah.
nothing for hair.
It did a whole lot for
It's
hair.
not moist at all. It dried your hair out though
Mhm.
and make it feel like rough.
No,
Of course, you're not a good product.
I use that on my
Not a
natural
good
clients.
product.
I before I braid them or whatever, I use it as a moisturizer and blow dry that in there.
You think they changed the
it makes the
ingredients?
hair a lot softer.
You think they changed the ingredients?
I don't know if they did because
I'm
I'm
gonna go buy you a
I
tub
have
of
one.
it. All right, we're gonna check it out.
I have
All
it.
right,
I still
we're gonna
use
check
it.
it out. Cause I know that
I still use it.
garbage.
I still use it.
Please and please nobody write to Janet and talk about pink oil lotion.
That was the first comment.
By Luster.
Ooh,
That's
don't
the,
do
I'm
it.
not gonna put them out there, but that was
We're
the
not gonna say
first.
no name.
That was the first
Please,
comment. was
nobody.
The only thing about
That's that day.
the pink oil, the pink moisture oil, only thing I'm going to say about that is that it's inexpensive.
Is that what it is?
It's inexpensive.
That does not make it
It
good.
doesn't make it group.
It was
good,
horrible.
but it's inexpensive.
And so is Blue Magic. It's $2.
yes, yes.
But is it good
Who
or bad?
remember a conditioner called porosity control? Who remembers that?
I remember that.
That makes sense.
What did what you think about
But
it?
I'm sad that they're not even selling it anymore.
Oh my God, that
The
it was
name
so
sounds
nice.
good alone.
Oh my
Alana
God,
might
it's
love
nice.
porosity
Yeah.
control.
You would like it because you know what it does? It softens and make it like silk.
Did you look it up on
Really good.
Amazon?
I can look it up. Porosity control was
That was
good.
it was very expensive. You know.
But the whole idea of the podcast is not to plug any products, but to give you an idea. Where
Yeah, just to give you just a few things.
Where
Yeah,
you need to
it's
go.
just, we all have our
We
preferences.
all have our preferences and whatever. Okay, closing thoughts, Alana.
I think there is no such thing as, well, I do think there's such thing as bad hair. It's hair that's not taken care of. But it's not what we usually would think bad hair is. I think that we have to love our hair first and start to wear our hair before we can, influence our young ones. And yeah, wash your hair.
Janet, closing thoughts.
I'm gonna agree. We have to. When she say wear our hair, I just want you to know I'll never wear my hair again. I'm telling you that to your face.
Oh.
Why?
I'll never. No, because
You're wearing it right now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I have to wear my hair like in a contained.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll never wear it out like I'm wearing it out because everything is not my friend.
No, but that's fine as long as there's some air
Yeah,
touching
because-
your
yeah,
hair.
you can
That's
see your
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's my closing thought.
Okay.
Karen, closing thoughts.
My closing thought about the good bad hair conversation is teach your children from birth that there is no such thing as bad hair. Love it, learn to manage it, help them through it. Tender-headed kids, you might be a little bit more of a hard job to teach, but take the time and let us learn to love our hair and put that on the youth.
Closing remarks from me. There's no such thing as bad hair. I have 4 granddaughters, and they each have a different texture of hair, and they each have good hair because there's pros and cons in every kind of hair type. They all have beautiful hair. Tell your children from the time they were born to the time they're out of your home, you have good hair. Wear your natural hair. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. I'm going to help you and teach you how to take care of your hair. I want to give a shout out to Tina Marie, our director.
Yay!
Nicole, who's normally our makeup artist. We love you anyway.
Hey, Nikki!
Sanday and Ivory and Angel and the bomb stylist Tina.
Yes,
And
we love you.
Juliet.
And Juliet.
She's here today.
All right. And people on Facebook and Instagram and soon will be on YouTube. I want you to be beautiful on purpose. Be beautiful on purpose.
Love it.
All right.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank